Welcome everyone to mile marker 3 of Carpool with Kris Pool. I am here tonight with a special guest, Teri McGregor, DTM and past district director. Teri was 1 year behind me on the district trio in District 35, which covers Wisconsin and the UP Michigan. But before we were on the trio together, we actually started out as area directors together. And that's kind of how we met. And then between myself and another friend, we were gently planting seeds for Teri to continue up in leadership. Teri may have thought it was a little bit of strong arming, but it was planting seeds and gently nudging. Teri, tell us a little bit about your memories on this.
All fond memories, which is why I'm chuckling a little bit. I do remember being an area director with you, Kris. And one of the first memories I have is you asking me if I would be on your HPL team. And I had no idea what HPL was. I was like, yes, but what is that?
So for our listeners, what is HPL?
Yeah, so HPL is a high performance leadership project. And part of the project is that you build a team, and the team serves as helps you plan whatever that project is, but really is a sounding board for you to bounce ideas and then to provide feedback throughout the process of planning a project. And I didn't know what that was, even though I was an area director. Which just goes to show that you can be a leader and you don't have to know everything. There's people there that will help you learn, and as long as you know how to find answers, you'll do just fine. And so I helped you. I don't remember what that project was, but that was really great to get to know you and work with you in both ways, as an area director, as a peer, and then as someone that helped you throughout that project.
And I think that year just really started off an ongoing friendship with each other. And I love talking with you, Toastmasters, non-Toastmasters. I've been to your house several times. I love your backyard. I love your fire pit. I love your living room. You decorate so pretty at your house. I think our real gathering, our real getting together was the carpooling, which was actually a taxi, but then we actually roomed together. The first year that you were on our trio, you were the club program director, and club growth director, and I was the program quality director. August 2019, we went to Colorado for the international convention, my last convention that I've attended. And we had to go through training for the trio members, and then we went to the actual conference. I think that I and Rosalind, our district director at the time, I think I remember we were a little bit mean to you. What do you remember from that time?
Yeah, I mean, yes. At the time, I thought, what are these two doing? So the trip started off great. Like, I met you and we carpooled down to the Milwaukee to airport. Troy drove us. That was a lot of fun. We met up with Rosalind, our district director, and Lori Baker, who was on my team at the time as the club extension chair. We were all traveling together, had a great time, had breakfast at the airport, then traveled on the plane. And I didn't really get any prep for training. I don't know if I didn't ask any questions or you guys didn't share with me or whatever. I didn't know what to expect. I was super excited to be there. Never been to Colorado before. The conference venue was beautiful. It was really nice. So we get up, the next day is our training, and it's an early start. You know, they start us with breakfast and then a full day of training. And as we're going from our rooms into the training area, Kris and Rosalind tell me that I'm not allowed to sit with them or be with them or talk to them all day. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know. I hadn't yet met my peers from across the world who were doing, who were part of the trio or part of training. I knew the three people I traveled with to Colorado, and two of them were telling me I couldn't talk to them all day, but I had to go out and make other friends.
Yep.
So I was terrified because at this point in my Toastmasters journey, I was not good at networking and talking to people I didn't know. And I was really terrified, and I thought it was not nice of them to me.
But we were
Um,
helping you to get out of your comfort zone and learn to network with other people.
yes, looking back now, it was amazing. It was the push I needed. I ended up um, went to breakfast, and I picked a empty seat at a full table, and I was between the trio of, I don't remember the district numbers at the time, but the club growth director who I sat next to shared with me that I was sitting between the trio from the number one district in the world and the number two district in the world. So, I mean, I lucked out. Everyone was really nice. And we had a good conversation. I made some friends that morning. And Rosalind and Kris actually checked up on me, I heard, later in the day with the people I was sitting with. So they were in the wings, making sure I was okay. And I made a lot of awesome friends that trip, met a lot of great people, and I did it even though I wasn't close to my safety net, my friends from Wisconsin.
Like you just said, it's the safety net.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were going to be spending the whole rest of the year together. We're going to be spending every night at the hotel together. And I know we recapped the entire day. What did you learn? What did you wish you learned? What questions did you ask? Who did you meet? What do you want to do? And it just helped, I think, to reinforce what you were learning for that day. But then, too, part of that purpose of going to these conventions and the training is to make sure that you go beyond just your little circle. And I go to these events with Toastmasters or other organizations, and we always stick together in our little cliques. We never venture away from each other. And that was partly why we did that to you. It was done to me and Rosalind also. I remember my first year. All right, I'm going in. I sat down at my table, met Robert. He was the club growth director at the time out in the Netherlands, and we just hit it off. We had so much fun. And I remember, I don't know if you were in the hall the first night. I know Lori Baker was there because she ended up recording this. I walked into that hall in Colorado at the convention hall, literally walk in the room. Here's this, 6'3" guy yelling, Kris, and he just starts booking. Lori just like, oh my gosh, it starts filming this. But she just, what is going on? And I swear, he actually picked me up for my hug, which nobody could pick me up, heaven forbid. But it was so good to see him again after a year. There's like no time had passed. You still keep in touch with those people that you met that year or at the subsequent year trainings?
So social media connects some of us. The people I'm closest with, though, who I met there. I wasn't, they weren't part of like the trio at the time. So the people that I will connect with at conferences when I go, like, I'm trying to think, Farzana, Chohan,
Mm-hmm.
and I stay in touch. Philip from Australia. I think everybody knows him.
Yep.
He's someone that I met that year walking, and every year I join him walking. And
What do you mean walking?
in the morning before at the conferences, there's always a group that walks at like 5 in the morning before the sun even comes up. And so I got invited to do that. I think Lori Baker invited me and Rosalind, and there I met a bunch of people as well. That was another great way to network and meet people. And so those are just a few of the people that I met that very first year that I still feel connected to and stay in touch with a little bit. Mhm.
Definitely. It's the last few years with the contests, having it all hybrid or all virtual, all those connections that I made, those were all the people that I invited to be my judges at my contests because then it met the requirements of not belonging to the club, not belonging to the division. It worked out really well. And I missed that part of it this year that I struggle. I want to invite them, but I know they can't afford to fly in. I can't afford to fly them in. Maybe if I won the lottery, great big huge amount of money, I could bring in all these people and you know,
Yeah,
I keep threatening that if they come and visit, they can stay in my guest room here and I'll make Troy grill out brats and we'll give them the new Glarus beer and give them cheese. I keep telling everyone I visit that they need to visit me here and that's what we'll have.
yeah, it's a really great. I'm looking forward to when I can get back to another convention. Not this year, but maybe hopefully the following.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where, I know this year in August it's Philadelphia, but I don't know where it's planned for the year after. So since we have left the trio, we've left kind of that leadership role, official leadership role. What have you been doing and how have we still been staying connected?
So I have been staying connected with you through, I mean, we both have been doing things to support the district, to support the work of the district. This year, I'm serving as the conference chair, and you're on my team. So we get to work together that way, which is really exciting. This is the first super big event that I've planned, and I'm lucky to have people on the team that have done this before that can help guide me and answer questions. And, also not just knowing how to plan an event, but knowing the people of our district, right? That's important in what we plan. So we make sure that they get the value that they deserve when they come to this event. So I think that's another thing that you've been helping me with. We like to attend each other's club meetings. I know I've been to a couple of your club meetings. I get invited that way. So yeah, just fun stuff like that. We chit chat too. We don't always talk about Toastmasters or
Jibber
work.
jabber.
Super jabber, right? Um,
That's how
so
that started on the HPL. You and Tom Gust, we were all on that committee together and we would get together, we'd do our official meeting, and then we'd stay on what, at least another half hour, just chit chat, jibber jabber. And then we just started scheduling jibber jabber meetings. I love that. I miss that.
yeah, that was during the pandemic. That's another way we stayed connected, and we
Yes.
still do that. We don't always just call just to talk work. Um, we recently had dinner, so that was fun.
Yes.
So yeah,
And we're carpooling down to the Dells in a couple of weeks. So
mhm.
that'll be good. We still have to figure out our timing for that, but that's always a good thing.
Mhm.
Let's see. What else should we talk about on our carpool podcast today with me? You miss being on the trio?
Oh, that's a really good. Um,
Loaded question.
that's a loaded question. I I do I do not. I I loved my time on the trio. I led through a challenging time for Toastmasters during the pandemic.
COVID.
Um, and I feel like I learned a lot and I got to do a lot and I met all kinds of great people. Um, I feel, and the reason I don't miss this because I've done it. And one of the things that I've learned through Toastmasters is that there's always more and different things to do. So I'm eager to try new things and do things, more things in Toastmasters, but different things.
Okay.
You would have asked me, well, I'll share the story. So when I was an area director, the division director at the time, Gina Glover, it was about October, and she said, just think about it. Don't say yes or no. Don't make a decision. But I think you'd be good for division director next year. And I said, I don't need to think about it. That answer is a big no.
Yep.
The
I remember.
reason it was a no is because at the time, our division directors planned TLIs, or club officer trainings, in their division. They had to post those. I had wanted no part of planning that because I had never done it before, and I couldn't at the time see a way that I could ever master that, planning something like that. And so that was my first, like, heck no, I'm not trying that. And here I am. I actually, planning this district conference, and I actually volunteered to do that. I said I would like to do that. So 360 on that, don't want to plan an event thing. So that's what I'm doing with Toastmasters, continually looking for new and different things to challenge me.
And I think you nailed it on the head. I'm saying no because I've never done it before. Well, if you never say yes, how are you going to gain that experience? So there's always something to learn, always something to make mistakes on, always something to celebrate for successes of what you learned. Again, I think the pandemic for me was good and bad. That was the year, middle of the year, PQD. The spring conference got canceled. We did not hold our contests that year. I felt like a part of me missed out so much because we didn't have the quintessential part of what that role is. Did not get to go to Paris the year that I was district director. That was what I was waiting for, but oh well. Maybe someday, because our passports are still good for about another 8 years. So yeah, our passports came in the mail 2 weeks or 3 days before they canceled that convention in Paris. Oh well, that's okay. No worries. When we go out, we always like to have some food associated because, sweet treats, some wine. What are your favorite beverages and appetizers, whether it's been with me or anyone?
Okay. Well, I am currently, my favorite soda right now is Dr. Pepper Cherry Zero.
Yes.
I can't get enough of it. So that's what I drink in the afternoon. My favorite adult beverage is, I like a good old fashioned whiskey, sweet.
Cherries or olives?
Cherries.
Okay.
Olives in a sweet drink. No. Cherries and
In-laws.
all the good stuff. So those are probably my two favorite drinks.
Okay.
For appetizers, I like a good cheese curd. Who doesn't love a good fried cheese curd?
Wisconsin. There we go. Where do you recommend that people go for the best fresh cheese curds? And I know this can start some serious discussions, disagreements.
Yeah, I love
Or
Culver's. We like Culver's cheese curds. They're not
okay,
easy to get to.
Union Star up in Zito, Wisconsin. Thursdays and Saturdays, 10 after 9, they are scooping those cheese curds out of the vats and bagging them. Absolute best. They're warm, they're wet, they're salty, they're squeaky. Oh, absolutely love those. But you have to do planning because it's about an hour and a half drive for me.
Mhm.
Well, as we wrap up our session here tonight, do you have any final thoughts or comments for me? Put you on the spot to ask me.
All right. I just thank you for asking me to join you tonight. This is my debut on a podcast. So
We'll have to schedule another one at some point.
Yeah. So lots of firsts with you, Kris. So first HPL team committee. Uh, you're the one that asked me to consider club growth director. Uh, Encouraged me to do those things, and I just, thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for hanging out, keeping our connection going beyond Toastmasters. I always appreciate hanging out with you and the time that we do get to spend together.
We'll have some fun and talking personal talk in the car in a few weeks. That's always a good thing.
Look
I
forward to
had
that.
another thought, another question of what was something that it was your fault. Not that it was your fault, but you're the one. Oh, I remember what it is. You are actually the inspiration for me doing the podcast and the Create a Podcast project. A couple of years ago, you were actually organizing some of the Sunday night sessions, some education sessions, or a Saturday, whatever it was. And I had put together a list of kind of the Kris top 10 things or items to help clubs stay motivated. And after that session, you were the one who suggested, oh, you should do a podcast and really expand on those different items. That was the inspiration. Now, it took me a couple years to actually pull this together because I kept seeing it on my list to do, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And then the last 6 months or so, I've started doing more investigating research, and I finally bit the bullet, and this is what I have. So you are my third guest, and this technically completes my project for Create a Podcast. This is one of my elective projects, level 4, motivating strategies. So thank you for helping me finish that project. But I will be continuing this, and I'm enjoying it. Just have different folks on when we're talking about some of the people we met when we were at those trainings. I think I need to reach out and bring some of those folks on board and just reconnect in a different way than just on social media. So thank you, Teri, for being here and providing me inspiration as well.
Well, thanks for having me. This was fun.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful night. Say hello to the family from me, and we will talk to you soon. Okay. Thanks so much, Teri.
Yeah.